So welcome to session 3 of the meditation series for fall at North Lee. Today we are going to focus on connecting with the spirit. We've focused on our first session with connecting with the body, and the second session with settling the mind, and now today we're going to look at connecting with the spirit. And the spirit, when I'm speaking of the spirit, what I mean is the spirit of compassion. The practices that I'm going to teach today is called Tonglen, and it's a Tibetan spiritual practice that helps to connect us with our inner compassion. Ton means to receive, and Glen means to give. So it's a receive and give breath activity. So the thing to know about Tonglen, and if you want to learn more about it, you can actually Google Tonglen meditation, Tonglen, on YouTube, and there's lots of different teachings about it. It can be practiced in a variety of ways. So my practice today is maybe a little bit different than what you would see on another YouTube video. But it's the one that I've come to be able to settle into quite well. So we're going to try it out and see how it goes. And if you have any feedback or questions, feel free to put them in the comments section. Just a business note, the meditation series will be moving to Zoom. So if you would like to participate in real time at 1:30 on Tuesdays, just email the church or myself, and I can give you the Zoom room link so that you can join me on Zoom for subsequent meditations. They will be recorded and posted online. So with that, I'm going to invite you now to just find yourself, adjust yourself comfortably in your seat, and you're welcome to either close your eyes or find a point at which to gaze on to focus your attention. And we're just going to do a little body scan. All meditation requires us to connect with our bodies and our presence, the presence in our bodies. And so we can begin to notice the way our feet are touching the floor, the way our legs and our bottoms are connecting with the chair. The sensation of our hands resting in our laps. And the place where our backs are connecting with the seat that we're in. Notice how you feel in your upper body, if there's any tension there. And just allow your body to shift and relax into the chair so that your whole weight is being held. We now turn our attention to our breath. And our attention comes not with judgment or analysis, just a present awareness of the breath and its movement in and out of the body. If you feel tightness anywhere where the breath is coming in, maybe shift your body so that that tension can be eased and the flow enhanced. We remember that when thoughts emerge to distract our attention away from our breath and our presence, that we just let them fall like the leaves on the trees, let them fall away, not focusing on them or getting caught in ruminating about them, just letting them fall. And returning to the breath. Now, once we have settled into our breathing, I'm going to invite you to bring to mind someone that you love dearly, who you know may be struggling at this time. Someone that you love, that you don't have tensions with, someone that you just are very fond of and love very much, but you know that they're struggling at this time, and I invite you to bring them to mind. Going to attend to our awareness of their suffering. We're just going to hold them in our imagination, just hold them in their suffering. And as we hold them there, we notice the softening of our hearts. That feeling of compassion, the desire to make things better for them, to comfort them. If it helps to use language, we may consider a mantra, such as, may they be free of suffering and the root of suffering. And you can name them in your minds. May this person be free from suffering and the root of suffering. If you notice feelings emerge of worry or burden in any way, just return to your breath and settle in to the ease of breath. The Tone Glen practice is all about presence. Being present for the person that you're holding and giving out compassion. going to take that softening, that compassion. Now we're going to turn our attention to either ourselves or someone else that we know who may be suffering. If we struggled with finding that softening place for someone, sometimes it's helpful to turn to ourselves because perhaps we may be suffering and in need of compassion. So you're welcome to turn to yourself and attend to your own suffering, or to turn to someone else you know who may need your compassion. And you're just going to be present with that suffering, allowing the heart to grow in its softening, in its tenderness. May I or someone I know be free of suffering and the root of suffering. As you gaze on yourself or the other, do so with kindness. Return a smile. You might imagine a word of comfort, a reassurance. Now that we have expanded that tender heart and that compassion within us, we're going to extend it beyond now into our community or into somewhere in the world where there is suffering. And turn our attention to that place or group of people. It doesn't have to be people. It could be a species, an ecosystem, some place where we know that there is suffering and need of compassion. We are aware of the suffering. And we hope for the relief of suffering. We pour out our compassion. And when you're ready, I invite you to turn your attention back inward. Being aware of your own pains or concerns or worries. And turn your attention to your own suffering once again. And allow that tender heart that you have cultivated to just surround and encircle you. Feel the glow of it, the warmth of it. If thoughts emerge, distractions or judgments or evaluations or critiques or any such things emerge in your mind, again, let them fall away and return to your breath. Everything you most need is right here and right now, in and through your breath. And now as we move ourselves and ready ourselves to return to the world again, I invite you to consider these words to take with you. May we all be free from suffering and the root of suffering. May we all receive compassion and the comfort of compassion. May we all be free from suffering and the root of suffering. May we all receive compassion and the comfort of compassion. And when you're ready, I invite you to begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. Just bring your body back to your awareness. And when you're feeling ready, you can open your eyes once again. Thank you for joining me once again for this time of quiet and stillness. I hope it was restorative for you. And if you had any difficulties with Tonglen and the practice, as I said, you can research it more on your own. And you can always just play with it on your own and find kind of what works for you. As I mentioned earlier, I'll be doing a Zoom gathering next Tuesday at 1:30. Not next Tuesday, what is the date? Oh gosh, I don't have the date. First Tuesday in November, I believe, on Zoom. If you need the Zoom room link, just be in touch with the office at the church or myself. And this recorded meditation will also be on YouTube. And thank you for my YouTube followers for joining me there. When we come back the next time around, we're going to be focusing on body once again. And I'll be doing a few different vagus nerve exercises with you, so we can help undo some of our anxiety and tension and work our bodies towards healing. So I hope you can join me then. Blessings.